Hi everybody, Brittany from Full Circle Wellness. I'm just at home right now, and I used to be a tree planter. I used to work in forestry, so I have some skulls and bones, which to some people might get creeped out by, but for me, it's interesting. They've been cleaned and bleached, but I am a craniosacrotherapist, so I want to show you this bear. This is a baby bear, and honestly, I don't just take bones from the land. I've seen a lot of skeletons out there when I was working, and I feel into it. It feels intuitive. This felt like a good one to keep. Anyways, so in craniosacrotherapy, when we talk about the sutures locking up in the skull, that could happen from when you're coming out of the birth canal, your head shape changes. It could be from being in sports and hitting your head. It could be from not being in sports and hitting your head. And the problem with that is that in between the sutures, which I'll show you the sutures on the skull in a second here, we have collagen and blood vessels, like small blood vessels. And the cerebrospinal fluid, when it pumps in and around the brain, those sutures are supposed to expand and alleviate pressure from the brain as the fluid is pumping in and around the brain. And the valves could potentially work better if these are opening properly and efficiently. So I talk about this in our sessions and how the sutures are connected to the myofascia. The myofascia is expressing itself in conjunction with the cerebrospinal fluid, the cranial rhythm. And so I'll just leave it at that for now. So if you don't know anything about cranial, we've never met, or whatever, we've never spoken about this, you can just learn this for now. These are the sutures. Obviously a bear skull is different from a human skull, but this gives you a good idea of what they look like. Look at the space in between. We think often of the skull as one unit, and it's not. It's actually made of quite a few different bones. So in cranial, we work on the trauma expression through the nerves, through the myofascia expressed from the brain. And the reason it will release is because the brain will recognize the safety of the light touch where we're at, and in the nerves of the skin will start to activate a sense of safety to the brain, to which where there may have been unconscious or conscious guarding. In other words, a lack of safety, which clenches the muscles and the connective tissue and presses into the bones, which is why in cranial we can feel the whole rhythm and find exactly where you have had an injury quite easily. And then when the tissue starts to release and unwind, especially in the skull, I feel these bones popping. Last week I had someone come in and the occipital area and the temporal area were popping. I heard it 3 times as it released, and it was very subtle. It doesn't hurt. It's no more than my thumbs crack all the time when I'm giving a massage. I've torn the ligaments tree planting. It's no different than that, but what's happening is there's a release. So that pressure is no longer there. The bones can separate. If the tissue, the collagen in here is compressed, or the sutures are sort of locked up, that fascia unwinding starts to release. At that moment, the brain recognizes, oh, I am safe. I don't need to be clenching anymore. And eventually, when the unwinding releases, the bones can expand and the brain will receive more of the benefits of your cerebrospinal fluid and that blood that feeds the brain throughout the day and at night and your entire life. Anyways, I thought that was interesting. I want to bring one of these into the studio, but then I get this worry that people are going to be creeped out or weird. I've been called a witch. I've been told all kinds of interesting things, because I also love crystals and I love energy healing, though all it is to me is a sensitivity. Like if you can hear different depths of sound, I'm a piano player, a pianist, and a guitar player. Those are my instruments. I can hear the sounds. It's a sensitivity, and everything radiates electricity or a vibration. That's energy. And so if you can tune into that, it's no different from being in the bush and recognizing if there's a bear around you or a cougar and sensing it in your fascial nervous system, your radio antenna in which you are. And so yeah, for me it's not I'm not a witch, I'm not anything like that. I'm just sensitive to the cranial rhythm, And you could be too. Everybody can, because it's anatomically correct. It's a part of your system. It's like feeling your own heartbeat. So yeah, I may bring one of these in eventually, but for those who just come in for a good old-fashioned massage, not the depths of healing to which we can be doing, then I might leave this at home. Anyways, nice chatting. I hope you have a great day, and hopefully you'll come in for cranium sometimes. It is very good for you. Have a good one. Take care.